Okay, welcome to the Detroit Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, February 26th. Please call the roll.
Mr. Cappers?
Here.
Mayor?
Yeah, here.
Mr. McGarry? Mr. Westmeyer?
Here.
Mr. Titterington?
Here.
Mr. Wolke? Mrs. Irvin?
Yeah, here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, first matter on the agenda are the minutes from our last meeting, February 12th. Do anybody have any corrections, additions, or deletions of those minutes?
Move for approval.
Is there
I'll
support?
second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They stand approved. Next, we have a historic district application for 221 South Market Street for installation of wall sign. Does staff have a report?
Yes, we do. Terry Howard, the owner of Meraki Salon and Spa, is proposing to install a wall sign on the north side of the building at 221 South Market Street. This building is currently painted a light gray with white trim around the windows, has black awnings and accessories, and black metalwork on the second story. The sign does meet the requirements for signs in the historic and commercial district. However, I spoke with the applicant due to the background color of the sign, which is white, and the lettering is black. And I explained that the sign might have too much contrast in relation to the colors that are already existing on the building and the accessories on the building. However, the applicant did choose to go with a white background sign with black lettering. Staff recommends denial based on the following. The proposed sign is in contrast to the existing colors of the building and the existing signs on the building, and the proposed sign is not cohesive with the existing elements of the building.
Any questions of staff?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Titterington?
is this, you said they want to install this. This is already installed on the building.
It's already installed, but I believe they may have taken it down and now are waiting for approval. But it was installed prior to receiving a permit, but I do believe it is down at this time.
And you said that the applicant did not want to consider any other colors.
That's correct. I suggested maybe a black background with white lettering, but they decided that they still wanted to go with a white background with black lettering.
Well, if you take a look at the picture here, they have black lettering in their window, but they've got a blind behind it that shows that it's kind of off color or white. And they may be trying to mirror that on the side of the building. The applicant's not here, I don't think.
No, they're not.
And there's no regulation about having a blind behind the window.
No, but Mr. Cappers,
Yes.
when I look at the picture may be a little off, but the blind appears to be closer to a gray color, which is in keeping with the building exterior than the stark white.
Well, I
I
agree.
mean, I agree that I'm inclined not to be in favor of this because it's white, and I remember seeing this up before it came down. Not really an attractive option given the gray of the building.
I tend to agree.
Was there any reason given for wanting to stay with the white?
No, she didn't give me a reason.
Probably because he already paid for it.
I wanted to see if that was the answer.
Any other questions of staff? Commission want to take any action?
What color would you consider, and maybe make that part of the approval, like gray or?
Well, whatever the building is, I guess.
Well,
Sure,
either
they'll
that
come back.
or the black background white sign, I
Yeah.
think was a good alternative.
Would look
Similar
better.
to what they have on the law.
I don't know that we want to suggest that's the only option if they've got something else.
I don't know, the windowsills on the Moffett Insurance are white.
I think it's just the contrast against that wall. It's rather stark.
Right.
We're just acting on this application. That's what we're doing.
I would move to deny the application.
I would second that.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll, keeping in mind an affirmative response is a denial of the application.
Mayor?
No.
Mr. Westmeyer?
Yes.
Mr. Titterington?
Yes.
Mrs. Early?
Yes.
Mr. Cattrick?
Yes.
Motion is adopted.
Let me ask a question here. We have a quorum. Oh, we have 5 members. Never mind. Got it. Okay, next up is the application to have the downtown Riverfront overlay district applied. Does staff have a report?
Yes, sir, we do. The applicant and hopefully soon-to-be property owner, Greg Taylor of MVP 619 Lincoln Incorporated, they're requesting the Planning Commission to review a proposed plan for the building at 25 South Plum Street using the downtown Riverfront overlay district to allow for resident use on all floors. The applicant is proposing for the property, again, at 25 South Plum Street, to use the existing building for residential use. Property is currently zoned B3 Central Business District. Property is listed for sale, consists of 0.05 of an acre with 4,212 square feet of a multi-story building. This is located on South Plum Street between West Main and West Franklin Street. It is currently vacant and was most recently used for various commercial uses. In the B3 district, residential use is permitted only on the second story and above. Proposal is to allow the property to be used for residential use only on all floors. The applicant's plan for the building is to renovate the interior, creating 4 apartments. Floor plan and elevations are attached to your packet. After review by the city staff, the property currently meets the existing underlying zoning district of B3 as a legal non-conforming lot. All other aspects of the project do meet the requirements of the zoning code, have been reviewed by development, engineering, fire, and the utilities department. Using the DRO process, the proposed use will need to be approved by the Planning Commission for the property. And again, this is the first hearing, so no action is needed at this meeting. At the second meeting, it is a required public hearing. Utilizing the criteria to justify the DRO application, you'll find the proposed project will have a minimal effect on the environment and neighborhood as this property is existing. We're using the existing structure. Parking is on the street, and a portion of the property used for residential is permitted by right. Proposed use will allow for a less intensive use, promoting more infill residential space in the downtown, reusing the existing and vacant property. The city's comp plan states that the economic development goal number 4 is to use or reuse vacant or underutilized commercial and industrial structures. This property has been vacant and underutilized for the past couple of years and is currently listed for sale. Based on the above criteria, the project will promote the use of the land and also economic vitality of business in the area. In addition to the MKSK Riverfront study a couple years ago, it suggests that in the development phase of 0 to 2 years to have additional residential infill development. The study also mentions through the market summary that this section of downtown Troy is a great location to also provide more housing options. Again, this is the first step in the DRO. The next meeting will be for a public hearing and then your decision on this application.
Okay, this is the first reading on the application. No action to be taken. Answer a couple questions for me, if you would, please.
Yes, sir.
The public hearing, what kind of notice is sent out to the public for this?
There will be notices sent to the adjacent property owners, and that will also be published on the website and in a newspaper ad,
Okay.
I believe, for the public.
And for the benefit of the 2 new members of the Planning Commission, would you explain to them what a DRO is, please?
Yes, sir. So the DRO process is more or less it fills a void between plan development or a needs based on variances for certain projects. In this case, where there is a building that doesn't quite meet the needs of the market and they want to reuse it or adapt the uses in that building, they can come to us, look for either variances in certain areas like open space, parking requirements, the uses within that building, and maybe even some design standards. In this instance, they're only looking for a use adaptation or variance on that allowable use as being residential because of the underlying zoning district. Certain things are already kind of permitted as not having on off-street parking and things like that. So it allows for more leniency in certain areas versus others and more of a negotiation on what's allowed to be done on the property. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Let me also paraphrase what you just said, okay, just for your information. The zoning doesn't change on this piece of property. This is a overlay of some additional permitted usages on the property. If they didn't have a DRO district, they'd have to come back to us for a variance, which is much more difficult to obtain than the overlay district would be. Under the ordinance, there's a first reading, and then there's public comment at a second hearing, and then that's when it is approved or disapproved. Mr. Titterington, do you have anything to add to that explanation?
Just that it is an expedited kind of a PD process without changing the underlying zoning. And the second step is as Mr. Capper said, the Planning Commission has a public hearing. If it's approved or whatever decision is made, I guess, that's communicated to the council, and then the council has 5 days to object or request an additional hearing if in fact it's controversial or they've got some questions about it.
Examples of the overlay districts, so far as I recall, Greenville National Bank next to the La Fiesta, because there needed a side yard variances and things of that nature. And also Partners in Hope?
Partners in Hope
Down
on
here
East
on
Ray
East
Street,
Ray
and
Street,
then
okay.
we also did the same thing for Troy Hangar because there was multiple properties.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions about the DRO district, perhaps?
So this actually comes to a public hearing
Next.
here?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, does staff have anything else to come before the commission today? Commission have anything else they want to discuss?
No, sir.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Stand adjourned. Okay, thank you for attending.